morning. There's lots of very upsetting, distressing news today.
Sorry,
so we thought we'd have a little chat with you first before we go into it, because it's just,
Well, just the reason there was a brief pause between Nadia's Instagram live and this was just as we were unpacking some of the stories. I was just horrified, absolutely horrified. Anyway, we'll get to them. Should we say hello?
Let's say hello to everyone first, and then if you don't want to hear the stories that are in the news today, you can go off having had a little bit of a catch up with us first.
Erin Bullimore, Bobby Ward, Michelle Main, Lorraine Eads, Faith Goodman, Nikki Burton, Ellen, Nicole Marcella, Hazel Malbond, Denise, Nelson Gale, Deborah Holdsworth, Carmel Carney, Ronnie Multiprint. Do you print multi-print? Melanie Williams, Liz Arnold, Pam PMS 76, Jackie Valino, Gabrielle, Steph Coleman, and there you go.
Good morning, Amy Roper, Tanya Smullen, Angie Bailey, Bethan Williams, Flossie Frith. How the hell? I haven't really seen you this morning. How are you?
Not great. Look how pale I look.
You look so thin.
I look pale, and I went to
Mark, you look really thin. Oh my God, I just seen your face. It's absolutely shrunken. This 16A.
I look, but it's making me look older.
No, you don't. You look really young. Show them your nice jacket I bought you.
This is old.
No,
I'll show it in a while because it's somewhere else. I can't get to it. Nadia
I'm not
is,
making
Nadia
him
is
show
the
things.
queen of saying, drop it in now, pick it up here, and it's not at hand.
He does look really thin, doesn't he, Gabrielle?
I went to the dentist yesterday and it was horrendous. I had a hygienist appointment and my God, it hurt. It really hurt. So I've got gaps between my teeth again. Plaque was taken out.
Don't, please.
Oh.
So we've had a lot of dentistry this week. I've been to the dentist. I went to the dentist on Monday and now I'm going today for my Invisalign checkup. My teeth are looking good though, aren't they?
They are. Total contrast to mine. What was I going to say? That's not very nice.
What?
You just go, nah.
No, I said, ha.
Oh, I see.
Lots of people asking about Teddy. So this is the news so far about Teddy. Teddy, my dad, in case this is your first time joining us, Teddy, my 87-year-old dad, went into St Bart's Hospital yesterday for an operation on his calcified aorta. It was quite hard because we didn't hear all day, and he was supposed to go in first because of his diabetes. It's very important that he eats. But I don't think he went in till third. So we were all really worrying about that because my dad not eating for that many hours, it's you.
And also, he's had an appetite for the last 6 months.
He eats hourly.
Next to Hercules.
Yeah. But anyway, he went through the operation. We don't really know any details of it because it's very weird. I don't know why I'm not allowed to speak to him, but I'm not allowed to speak to him. I just don't know. I've just got hardly any details. My mum's staying in a flat right next to the hospital. She can't go in, but she wanted to be right next to him, so she's in a flat an Airbnb.
So can I just clarify? Your dad simply wants to get out because he doesn't feel great.
Part of the story,
sorry, I thought you'd said that.
So yesterday we knew so that he'd had it, and Mum spoke to him in the evening, and she said he was very happy and very relieved. So that was really nice. But today I just heard from her. And she said the nurse said he had a good night, but he is not in agreement with the nurse, which is a good sign.
That is good.
And he's absolutely insisting that he comes home, but he can't come home. I mean, I'm really worried about that. I do not want him to come home because it's a big operation. I didn't realise it can take up to 4 hours. Dina was telling me yesterday, I was just saying this on Kaz's live, her friend, when she said what my dad was having, said to her, oh, my aunt had that and she had a stroke and died.
Your sister said that, right?
No, her friend said that.
Yeah, but she reported it to you.
Oh, I suppose so. Yeah, she did.
So she may as well have said it.
No, but we were talking about how funny it is, the things that people say when they put their foot in it. Like the friend that said this to her, I really like. She's really funny. But she would never have thought that was... Dina was like... Dina couldn't eat yesterday. She was so anxious. And this has never, ever happened in Dina's life.
No, that's
true.
So your dad doesn't want to leave because he feels well enough to leave, basically?
No, my dad does want to leave.
That's what I mean, sorry, he does want to leave because only being there is the thing that's making him feel
well. He says he had a bad night and he wants to come home.
Right, bless him. I understand that.
Everybody wants to come home.
Yeah, of course
Nobody,
they do. Everyone
nobody
prefers
wants to stay in a hospital. But I don't want my mum having the stress. Can you write Julie Franks for a birthday song, babe?
Julie Franks.
Julie, we'll sing to you at the end. If it's anyone's birthday, let us know and we'll sing to you at the end. Morning, Jacqueline Frost. Morning, Ellen. Morning, Bruna. Happy birthday for Jessica as well. Yeah, so that's how my dad is. Thank you so much. So many of you sent lovely messages and really appreciate it. And I have passed it on to my mum, who's passed it on to him. So thank you.
There we go. So that's good news, isn't it? I mean, to be honest with you, it's effing enormously good news because he's got through the difficult hump of all of
I
it.
suppose the most dangerous bit is when you're having the operation.
I'd have thought so. And also the first 24 hours.
Yeah, that's why I
afterwards,
want
I'd
him
have
to
thought.
stay there. Having only had a stroke only six months ago, I think it'd be very good for him to stay in the hospital.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit equivalent to, I always remember a pilot friend of mine saying that the most dangerous moments in a flight are the 1 minute after you take off and the 1 minute before landing. So it's the same sort of thing, isn't
He
it?
just
It's
needs
24
to
hours
stay
after.
where he's. Yeah, you're right. They'll have done obs through the night and he won't have liked that, but...
So listen, guys, I see Linda Evans has not necessarily joined, but you've renewed. So you're not necessarily new, but we'll do you a welcome anyway. And Joe Green is a new member, so we'll do you a welcome. And we'll do all of those and birthdays at the end. I just wanted to say, when I know I'm a good friend with someone, I feel really comfortable being quiet. I feel really comfortable being quiet, so I'm going to be quiet.
Okay. Oh, yes, Joe Green, you could have a member's welcome. Mark will write it down and
That's
we'll do
what I
it
just
in a
said.
bit. Oh, you've got that one. Ashley Gardner, 1 week to go till Vlogmas. Woohoo, excited. We are very excited as well. And in case you missed the live yesterday, on the 1st of December, 7 o'clock here, we are doing an all bells, all whistles. Is that what you say?
Yeah,
Whistles
all bells and whistles, yeah.
All bells and whistles quiz. Mark's going to be dancing.
Yeah.
I might do Kate Bush.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, so please put it in your diary. We're doing it as a fundraiser for Young Minds UK. Our podcast is up today, by the way, guys. Thank you, everybody who contributed to that.
It was an
Confessions of a Modern
enormous
Parent.
swell of contact, wasn't
Cool.
it? Huge.
Talking about mental health and the mental health services for our young. So many people struggling with that. So have a listen to that. So we thought, I know lots of you watched the Dr. Alex documentary and were as moved by it as Mark and I were. So it was really that's driven us to do this Young Minds fundraiser because these charities really do pick up so much of the slack that occurs because CAMHS is completely overwhelmed. So if you can contribute just even a few pennies, it would be amazing. But if you can't, that's fine as well. But please do us this favour and tell everybody that you know that this quiz is on and to just come and join us and to donate if they can. I mean, look at how many subscribers. I mean, we've got well over 125,000. Imagine if everyone gave 50p.
Yeah, Faith, I haven't popped it up yet. That's the reason it hasn't popped through to
I've got to do that. Is
Subs
Michelle
community
listening? Michelle, can you do the Young Minds Just Giving page for
Yeah,
us?
so we're going to have a Just Giving page and we'll pop it underneath every video so that it'll come up in the
Yeah.
run up to next Wednesday. So it's essentially a week from today. And also, we're going to be discovering the winner of the personalised message from the end of the No Name Sunday show, which was The Age of All My Girls. So the news today is, it's some of it I found the most, I rarely shy away from a story due to thinking, actually, there's
You
an
never
element,
do, actually.
there's an element of this that I don't think should be being reported. I think it's wrong and it's shocked me. And the fact that what I heard accidentally on the radio this morning was actually the audio footage of a boy prior to death, I personally think I found it really offensive and really triggering and horrible. And I don't think that in the telling of the news as to the sentencing of the parents or step-parents or whatever they are, I mean, that's too glorified a description of them, of the boy who was poisoned and cried, "No one loves me," in a clip. I don't care. I don't think the audio or the video should be being shown. It doesn't serve any purpose.
I don't think we need to hear it outside of the court, but the court needed to hear it.
Yeah, fine, that's fine.
But what I would also say is, last week I was talking to Katie Piper, who helps a lot of people that have been acid attacks and stuff. And she said it's quite interesting how often when there isn't publicity, when somebody might want to, is too fragile and doesn't want the publicity, it affects the sentencing. It really does. And I'd never thought of that.
Well, in court, I totally understand.
No, but also the public knowing, I think it does make a difference.
Well, it can't retrospectively, otherwise, because the
suppose
law
so.
has happened.
Yeah, that's true.
The jury or the judge has made their judgment, and in fact, their prison sentences have come through, haven't they?
What is their sentence?
Oh no, they haven't. They're facing a campaign. Oh no,
No.
you're right. So they're in court, and this is.
That's what I was
going
to say, because there's a very particular case that Katie Piper was talking about, where the shocking sentence that this person got, I cannot believe it, what he did to this woman and what he got was just ludicrous. And
is this another case?
Another case,
right.
yeah. And apparently he probably would have got a greater sentence if the detail had been out there.
It really actually makes me really angry that this footage is out there. I'm shocked.
Well, I didn't realise it was footage because I was only listening on the radio. I thought it was just
audio footage or photographs. I'm absolutely shocked. That is going to play into the perverse minds and appetites of some of the worst members of our society.
Well, I worry it triggers people that have had abusive childhoods.
Absolutely. As I walked out of the kitchen to take Kiki at about 6 or 7 o'clock,
it just played out of nowhere.
I heard it, and I thought, this must be an ad.
Off.
I thought this is an advert for the NSPCC, where an actor or something. To then be told that this was actually
a little boy. So basically, on this audio, you hear this little boy, Arthur, Mark, what was his second name? And he's crying, nobody loves me, nobody's going to feed me.
Arthur Hughes.
He actually died of an unsurvivable brain injury. The cruelty that this boy went through from his father and his father's girlfriend. The father has said that the girlfriend manipulated him into doing, he wasn't actually there when the boy died, had manipulated him into treating his son the way that he did because she had promised him love and affection, and he admitted that that was more important to him than his son's safety. Some of the things that this man has said to this child, again, we don't need to say it, literally, it makes your heart drop. You couldn't imagine a human being saying that to another adult, let alone to a child. So absolutely horrific. What I'm so terrified now is they also tried to poison him with salt and then would starve him, make him stand for 14 hours a day. Just evil, evil scum, right? And there is no doubt that they did this. I wonder what their sentence is going to be.
Which kind of
will they ever see the light of day again? Probably. Let's not forget that Colin Pitchfork, after murdering and raping 2 15-year-old girls, and God knows what else that we don't know that he did, because everybody that's met him says that he's like dead inside, a complete sociopath, and he got out. It is not beyond the realms of possibility that the same with this. Do you remember this little boy's murderers? Do you remember Baby P?
So, there are many elements to this. There's the element of how on earth can they're not humans. How can they do this to the child in the first place? Then there's the fact that there will be a court, there's the court hearing. The playing of the footage serves no purpose but to make people click on news sites, listen to radio stations in a ghoulish, as someone said, voyeuristic fashion. So, just horrendous.
I turned on the radio and it was there. I was listening to it. Rather like you, I thought, what is that? And I didn't want to hear that at 7 o'clock this morning. That when you play that out, you don't know what somebody might have gone through in their childhood and how that might.
Yeah, I did not want to hear it because I'm Faye, and I just thought. But I think
it felt wrong.
Someone just said there it's against the human rights. Obviously the child has died, but there's some privacy surely to something, or I don't know. There's just something about it that smacks of awfulness. And going to your point about sentencing. One of my pet hates in this country is how child offenders, rapists, sexual offenders abuse against women and children never seem to get sentences that are long enough or strong enough, which kind of leads us to the Harper's Law story.
When I think of, I often talk about Katie, don't I? Katie Piper, and it's just such an honour to know and work with Katie, because we forget what she actually went through. We forget. And the sentencing of for these men and women that do these terrible, terrible things, which causes lifelong suffering for people.
Yeah.
And life is never even discussed. A life imprisonment is never even discussed.
Lots of people asking who recorded it. I presume it was part of the malevolent, prurient fascination with hurting this kid by presumably the stepmom or the father. I don't know who. I mean, this is footage of the child in a prior state. It was in a state prior to the murder. This was just in its general maltreatment.
Where is the video footage?
Well, it's obviously she's filmed it in a deeply disturbing fashion.
Maybe she
on her
was,
phone.
just some sort of a sadist. I don't know. Well, she obviously was a sadist.
Yeah, and someone else, I've lost your comment, but someone else said you feel almost complicit in it to listen to it. Yeah, I know what you mean. Totally know what you mean. Which, as I say...
But then on the other hand, some might say, by listening to it, that boy has been heard. That's what some may say. Because it is difficult to watch these things and hear these things, and it's easier to turn away.
I totally disagree. I think this boy will be heard with a strong
I'm not saying that's not my opinion.
No.
I'm saying some might say.
No, I'm not having it. But it's really made my blood boil, this story. It's really made my blood boil. Deliver it as they're about to with Harper's Law. Deliver it for child death and rape and murder in other scenarios. Of course, this Harper's Law is totally laudable, totally right.
But I do think that it's interesting that the police have released these tapes. Now, the police will be desperate for a life-term sentence here. We are outraged. We all know now what this boy went through.
But then that would be a miscarriage of justice. You can't by public baying crowds. Even though...
No, but I'm just saying, is this, the police have released this? This hasn't been leaked out. There must be a purpose that they've done.
I think it's been shown in court.
And yes, it's wrong if that's what they have to do. The law should be there in the law, the protection of children. But obviously, we hear all the time from the police, don't we? We catch people, and the system lets us down because they get really paltry sentencing. So I think that the fact that the police have released it means that they're worried that they might not get a life term.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. Harper's Law, which leads us to this. Because, of course, this is something that I think is laudable and I think is really important. It's the tragic story of, well, it's not the story, the wife, girlfriend, partner of PC, was it PC Harper? Was that his name? Her partner was died when he caught his strap. He was attached to a car, dragged along the road.
Absolutely horrendous.
And died.
I remember at the time hearing his wife just absolutely hot. Yeah. Imagine what that felt like to her, that her husband, very brave. It was after 4 boys, wasn't it? 4 teenagers. And that he was just seen as so worthless to these people, not even a human. And so she's campaigned passionately for this Harper's Law, hasn't she?
Yeah, and they've both, 2 teenagers have been sentenced for 16 years and 13 years for manslaughter. And so the idea behind this law is that for murder of anyone in the emergency services or any emergency workers, life should mean life. And I think this is right. Well, it will mean life. There's been no discussion. No, absolutely. But I do think that when people say there's an equivalence between, police and other deaths, I don't know how you decide the difference. A death is a death is a death. But there is one caveat, obviously, insofar as the emergency services, especially the police, put themselves on our behalf at risk every day. And so to that extent, maybe this is like the only way governmentally and legally they feel that they can resurrect and resuscitate the kind of respect, you're right, there just isn't for the police anymore. In the streets of London. The police avoid huge postcodes in London because they know they can't do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally can't do anything. They liaise with gang leaders because they can't do anything.
Do you think it will really stop what would normally have been deemed manslaughter deaths? For instance, those 3 boys did not intend to go out and kill someone that night.
You could argue, no, they didn't. But
So would they, if that happened today with this law in place, would they not be pumped up with adrenaline and fear and panic and just selfish need to get away? Because or would they stop and jump off their quads and say, "Oh, we could kill this. You know, this could end up in a murder." I'm not sure that it would.
Right. Well, my thinking on it is a bit like at school. If you know that the punishment for any indirect harm or murder of a police officer comes with the fullest strength of the law, perhaps you won't do the stupid fucking thing in the first place that leads you there. You know, it might. You know, I mean, you're right. What you're saying is these teenagers didn't set out to kill a police officer. It was a tragic, inadvertent outcome from stupid behaviour by them. And you're saying that the law, this law would essentially. What do you think, guys? What do you think?
I'm just wondering if the majority of police officers and ambulance workers as well, I mean, just treated despicably.
Sylvie Livingston, but if they had the fear of the life sentence, it might prevent.
Yeah.
I mean, and I also wonder whether it might prevent other activities like joyriding. And, so many deaths happen because of car crashes.
Tim Reed watched Traffic Cops last night and the police had a drill trucked at his windscreen.
Yeah. Izzy Perry, people do not actually realise what the police do. You only hear bad stories, but officers and staff all across the country put their mental health and physical health on the line for the public. You're absolutely right.
I remember through the pandemic being spat at.
Yeah.
Spat at.
Yeah.
I mean, being spat at now is like using an offensive weapon because if you've got COVID... Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I'm thinking today of the parent that might have had a child killed by a drunk driver or a father whose son was killed by somebody giving him one punch and his son is dead. I'm thinking of all those people who the perpetrator of the crime that they lost their loved one to is now out.
Yeah.
Because it's like this life is worth more than this life. That's what I worry about with this.
Yeah,
I mean,
agree.
when you think of the people that have been, because there are many people that will have gone through the horrors of something like Sarah Everard did, but didn't actually die.
Yeah.
But live a living death for their entire life, and the perpetrator of that crime would get out.
I just want, I agree.
Our system is just.
I just wonder whether the simplest solution to all of it is when life is delivered, it's life, regardless of who or what. I just think.
But then it's very difficult. So you've got a child that's been brought up in a really chaotic home, right? Not been shown any love. Say that this poor child, Arthur, actually survived and grew up to be a chaotic person. At 18, 19 years old, he breaks into a house. He's not been given any childhood. He's not been given an education. He's not been given any support. And he breaks into a house to steal, to feed himself. A police officer comes in. They have a rough and tumble. They both fall down the stairs. The police officer dies. That boy...
Yeah.
Imagine that it's that child that's gone through something, then goes to prison for life.
Well, I mean, in that example, you're charting the cyclical. That's the cyclical nature.
There are multiple examples. Prisons are filled with people. That are evil. Yes, that are just bad souls, but there are also people that have had not one fucking chance in life.
Yeah, no, I agree. Nature versus nurture and all that kind of stuff, learned
It's
behaviour.
just so complex. It's so easy to stand and just judge something in just one way, isn't it? And in a way, we want to say just life for a life, but there's always those complex
So
stories.
a complex story, very much is. The other story in the headline today is that the WHO, in their sort of not frightening sort of wisdom, has said that The WHO has warned that of 500,000 more deaths, virus-related deaths, by spring across Europe. The WHO is urging all countries across Europe to take stronger measures and enact stronger measures. Now, the only reason I wanted to flag this up is I'm getting a little bit concerned. We seem to be bouncing around as a country saying we have child of Delta, we have this, we have that. I think we should just lower our sort of smug championing of what we've achieved. Oh, it's because we've got Oxford AstraZeneca. Because I'm just slightly concerned that if the dial turns in the wrong direction due to Europe struggling, we too could go up. And I just sometimes wonder, you mentioned it the other day, is this another example of British exceptionalism, where we feel that we are somehow different and, we're immune to this?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we all have to be wary. But I think the fact that we are so far ahead with the booster does make a difference.
Yeah.
If 80% of our over 70-year-olds have had the booster, which now makes them fully vaccinated, and only 14% of Germany's over 70s have, we are a bit ahead of that.
What do you think,
now,
guys? Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, no, go on, sorry.
I mean, if those facts and figures are true, then we can't... I mean, now, they could say, of course, that fully vaccinated with 2 vaccines and the booster doesn't mean we're fully vaccinated, or everything could go tits up again.
Presumably
but where we are at the moment, it appears that we are a bit ahead.
Well, presumably there's going to be much discussion in the press in about 3 months about the fade of the booster, and then it'll be the booster to the booster, and then it'll be the booster to the booster to the booster.
Like flu, in that every single winter you have to have a jab, a
Yeah.
COVID jab. I think that's what's going to happen.
I do think, I personally think the optics on it would be good if the government were to say... I mean, for example, yesterday they did, didn't they? They said, this is ludicrous, sorry. I sat there and roared with laughter when I heard this. If you're going into an enclosed, unventilated space with lots of people, wear a mask, yeah? That's what the advice was yesterday.
Oh, right.
Wasn't it?
I
This was formal advice from the government. If you know you're going, take a lateral flow test before you go.
Right.
Doesn't solve travelling everywhere. Everyone is getting onto trains. Kiki just got onto a train that is not ventilated, crowded, and so what you can't pick and choose. Once again, it's like, okay, so if you're going to a party, an office party, that's not ventilated and inside, take a lateral flow test because you might need to, but get on a train, getting there, and it makes no difference. It's ludicrous. Just say to people, wear masks. I don't understand. And if you want to go out and burn buildings because you don't want to put something on your face for about, 10 minutes to get from A to B, you can tell I'm a bit aggravated today by the news. Yeah, sorry.
Are you hungry?
No, I'm just... That first story has made me really cross.
Well, I think it
really
has the whole
cross.
country, hasn't it?
No, I'm cross about the story, but I'm cross about this prurient interest. Anyway, let's make things a bit light-hearted.
I know what I haven't had time to find out yet about this poor girl that went missing.
Oh, in Plymouth. Yeah, sadly, they've discovered a body. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
They've notified the family. I think they're still identifying it.
Oh.
Yeah. 18-year-old girl.
Oh,
I think someone just
God.
mentioned it in Plymouth. Was it at a bus stop in Plymouth? They found her phone. I saw last night, correct me if I'm wrong, that they had found a body. Pleasure, Nora Doyle. Pleasure. Yeah.
Right.
So that's another...
It's been a heavy day today.
Well, look, I tell you what always helps is a bit of Take That. Take That are reforming. They're reuniting in 2022, but they're not really reforming because Jason Orange isn't going to be there. Which one's Jason Orange? Is he the one in the middle?
Yeah.
No, that's... Oh, yeah, pictured with current members.
No, Jason Orange isn't there. Jason Orange was the
But
more
without former...
hippie-looking one.
No, pictured with current members. Howard... It's Howard, isn't it? No. Oh, God, I can't work out. Which one is Jason Orange? Oh, that's him.
That.
God, they're fit. They're the same age as me. Take that.
Well,
What?
why is that a surprise?
Well, I don't know why. I thought they were
Been around forever.
Because they're a boy band. I kind of figure they would forever be boys. Who's your favourite member of Take That, guys? Gillian Barras. I've got your name, darling. Who's your favourite member of Take That? Are you a Take That fan?
I really loved some of their tunes. I mean, great pop band, weren't they? But I was never like a fan.
But people go
Interviewed them
mad.
lots of times. They're absolutely lovely. I mean, they're really lovely. Gary Barlow, we had him on quite soon after we were back on his swimming after the lockdown. And he was just great because it was fantastic when we were first interviewing people on Zoom because nobody'd seen anybody. And he was just so relaxed in his house. And he was chatting about everything. He's always lovely, actually. So, yeah.
Take that love then, Robbie, because he's a Stokey. Is he? He's from Stoke-on-Trent, Robbie Williams.
I mean, they're just the greatest tunes. I mean...
Well, yeah, but when they do gigs and when they reform, and I think this is about the 86th time they've reformed, isn't it? Everyone goes ballistic for it. Is anyone here not a Take That fan? Say, are you a Take That fan? Yes or no? And if so, what's your favourite song?
I'm trying to think of one now.
I can't even
There's so
think of
many.
the name of a song. Give us the names of some of their songs, guys. Eddie Carter. Relight My Fire.
Relight My Fire. No, but that was a remake.
You are my only desire. Relight my fire.
'Cause I need your love.
Yes, I'm a fan of Take That, and I like the World song. What's the World song? Never Forget. What's that? Give Good Feeling. All the songs. Relight Fire. Pray. I can't think of these. Want You Back for Good.
I cried for a week when they first split up, says Lorraine Eames.
Oh. Patience. I don't know any of these songs.
Have a little
Greatest
patience.
Day. Do you know that?
That's one of those, isn't it, where they all stand in suits?
Oh, where they all kind of sway
little
into A Million Love Songs. What's that?
I know all of these, but I can't
Rule
get
the
them any
World.
to the front of my head.
I don't know. I could just sing them in a bad fashion. And then the other final thing that I had there was small changes that could keep a stroke at bay. And I thought you like a quick health story, don't you, at the end? So let's have a look at what they recommend in the Times about knowing your strokes and keeping them at bay. So anything that benefits your heart or brain will lower your risk of any type of stroke.
Don't, because I keep thinking I'm having one at the minute.
So he advises things like not smoking and avoiding too much alcohol and fatty foods. Check your pulse.
Oxygen to the brain.
Check your pulse regularly. Do you remember when we first met? It's something I did all the time.
Check your pulse regularly.
To check if you have atrial fibrillation, get your pulse checked. We know.
How do you do that?
We know of 1.5 million cases that are confirmed, but many thousands go undiagnosed. An irregular pulse is a key sign. If you notice an irregular pulse, go to the doctor.
So what is an irregular pulse?
Well, one that doesn't go dum dum
Oh,
dum
don't say
dum.
that.
That goes. Do you really want me to examine?
Hang on.
Dum dum
Shush, I'm listening to my pulse.
dum dum. I do it in your wrist, babe. You can't. That's not.
No, it's much better in the neck.
No, it's not. That's when people are dead.
I can't do it in my wrist. I can never feel it.
I can. Let me try. Let me check. Let me check in your wrist. No, other one.
I've got a watch on.
So we're just going to check. We're just taking Nadia's pulse. So I'm going to do the beat as it comes. Boom, 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 boom. I think that's irregular.
Oh, don't say that. Why have you said that? Now you know I'm going to have a dreadful day.
Your Fitbit tells you pulse. Have a look at the chart on your
does
Fitbit.
it?
If it goes up and down suddenly on the app, obviously. So check your pulse. That's a simple one. Cut down on stimulants. Alcohol itself is another cause of AF as it can affect the heart muscle. Cocaine use causes strokes, the Stroke Association says. So cut down on your cocaine use. I'm pretty sure most of you do.
Look at this. Cocaine, the drug increases risk of stroke by 700% in the 24 hours after its use.
Wow.
Wow.
Drinking coffee and tea is associated with a lower risk of stroke. This is after a 15-year, listen to this, 15-year study of 365,000 people published this month concluded that drinking coffee and tea reduces your risk of stroke.
Oh, somebody just said that I need my little thingy. That will help.
Yeah. Aspirin isn't necessarily the answer. Midlifers around the world have been taking aspirin every day in the hope it will prevent blood clots. But the US Preventive Services Task Force have changed their guidelines.
Oh, God.
They advise against taking daily aspirin
Oh,
for
my
primary
God.
prevention because the risk of bleeding in older age cancels out the potential benefits. That's interesting. So my mum shouldn't be taking it.
She doesn't take it, does she?
They also say that wearable gadgets are a great modern-day tool for monitoring all your vital statistics.
My Fitbit.
What's your pulse? 71? 72, that's your pulse rate, isn't it? Yeah, PR. Beats per minute. 71. Let me test mine.
No, what does that mean? So if it stays at 71, it means it's not an irregular pulse?
Yeah, but I mean, I would check your... how do you say? So, welcome to our house.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Let's just. How do you turn it on?
It's the other finger it goes on.
I know, but it doesn't know it's not on the right finger,
Yes,
does
it does.
It's gone
This is
funny.
the side of your heart. Does anyone ever have a heart on the right-hand side of their body?
Pardon?
Can you have your heart on your... Are there like freaky situations where some people's hearts are on the right-hand side of their body instead of their left?
Has anyone ever heard of a case of someone having a heart on the right-hand side of their body? I've heard of people having more than one cervix.
So if my pulse is 71, is that good?
71's all right. Mine's about 59.
This is thrilling.
Anyway, I said I felt comfortable sitting with you.
Thrilled?
Okay, on that note, let's sing happy birthday to Julie Franks, Jessica and Gillian Barras.
Happy birthday, Julie Franks. Happy birthday, Julie Franks. Happy birthday, dear Julie Franks. Happy birthday to you. Guys, can you hit the like button just underneath us?
Yeah, that's
because there's
pathetic.
tons of you watching and nobody's showing us how much they like us by hitting the like button.
Happy birthday to you.
Linda Evans.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, hang
Happy
on.
birthday. It says
hang on.
welcome.
Yeah,
Happy birthday.
No, we've got to start again because I'm saying it to Linda.
HB means happy birthday.
I know, but I was saying it to Linda, so we need to start again. You can't just plough through when it's like happy birthday to Jessica. Happy birthday to you, Jessica. Happy birthday to you, Jessica. Happy birthday, dear Jessica. Happy birthday to you. Linda Evans. Welcome, Linda Evans. Welcome to you. Welcome, Linda, 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 Linda Evan Boo. Linda Evans, you are welcome to the family guest area. I hurt my boobs.
Jojo Green.
Jojo Green.
Jojo Green. Welcome. Jojo Green. That was good,
That was
one.
brilliant.
Yeah. Gillian. Oh, sorry, no, it's a happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you,
Flick
Gillian.
your nose.
Happy birthday to you,
Gillian.
Gillian. Happy birthday, dear Gillian. Happy birthday to you.
Please use any of those as a ringtone. Feel free. It'll drive your friends insane.
Do not forget to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and don't forget Vlogmas is coming on the 1st of
Vlogmas is coming.
December.